Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak on the Government Business Program. In doing so, I'd firstly like to welcome everybody back to the new parliamentary year and to acknowledge the hard-working parliamentary staff, clerks, security, electorate officers, speakers and all that make sure this place functions effectively, especially, of course, the member for Rowville, the father of the House. I also acknowledge the hard work of the whips, leaders and managers of government and opposition business on all sides, and particularly would like to welcome my colleague, the member for Evelyn, to the role of Manager of Opposition Business. On Labor's Government Business Program itself, the Coalition will be opposing it for the reasons outlined by the Manager of Opposition Business. On the organisation of this Government Business Program, this appears to be a government that increasingly doesn't seem to know what it's doing. First, we were only sent the first version of the Government Business Program after 6:30 p.m. last Thursday night. Under the Allen government, it's continually been like this, whereas we normally had the Government Business Program well before 5 p.m. on a Thursday under Andrews. This Government Business Program set out that we would consider and guillotine 3 bills.
Order.
Referred to by their proper titles. Sorry, Deputy
There's
Speaker.
no point of order, Leader of the House. The member for Mornington to continue.
Now, as I mentioned, this Government Business Program set out that we would consider and guillotine at the time 3 bills: the Retirement Village Bill, the Consumer and Planning Bill and the Anti-Vilification Bill. However, at 8:08 p.m. last night, the government then sent out a revised business program where they will only now consider and vote on the Retirement Village Bill and the Consumer and Planning Bill. They've said that we'll still look to debate the Anti-Vilification Bill this week, but will not guillotine debate on this alongside the other 2 bills. Either this government cannot plan their week to start with, or is worried about the serious backlash from the Christian, Islamic, Jewish and other groups over their ill-thought-out and religious freedom-smashing anti-vilification bill, or both. Overall, though, it's a bit worrying that this Labor government have had a 2-month break from parliamentary sittings to prepare and still couldn't get their original Government Business Program right. Now, you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little bit nasally today at the end of a cold, but it seems that this government has also caught a cold and equally cannot handle the heat. And so this Government Business Program reflects an unwell government that's increasingly worried about crashing polls, the most recent putting Labor's primary vote at just 22%. That could have explained some of the bills put forward in the Government Business Program, combined with the Premier's recognition of Labor's failed bail laws. One of these bills is the Retirement Village Amendment Bill. This is meant to be the most significant reform in decades, and the government has taken about 6 years to reach this point. Yet stakeholders, particularly residents, have still raised so many concerns about the rushed nature of this bill. Just last week I met with local residents in my electorate of retirement villages, and many were very concerned about this bill as it is, particularly in light of what they've experienced themselves. And they were very surprised when I told them that the bill was going ahead this week. Instead of doing the necessary further consultation, we have a government that's just determined to cram this bill through in the first sitting week of Parliament. There are massive issues in the retirement village sector that need to be fixed, and Labor are worried about their polling numbers, but they still aren't getting it right. Deputy Speaker, we also have the Anti-Vilification Bill, which the government was originally going to guillotine this week, but now isn't, but have said that they might debate. This bill may be well-intentioned, but it's completely flawed in execution. Perhaps the government have delayed this bill from being guillotined given the potential unintended consequences, particularly with its new genuine political purpose defence, which has already raised serious concerns from the Jewish, Christian and Muslim community groups alike. Finally, there is the Consumer and Planning Bill as well, a bill that introduces very sweeping changes to the rental and planning sectors without properly considering the impact on rental providers and tenants. The Leader of the House talked about fairer and cheaper, but all I see is a fair price hike.
The member's time has expired.